Hi, welcome to Monday Minutes. I'm Nick.
And I'm Jessie, and we have the wonderful Lisette with us this week to talk about something special coming in 2505. Hi, Lisette.
Hi.
Today we're going to talk to you about bug 20747, which brings in the ability to allow local holds priority to fill a hierarchical group. So, Lisette, tell us about the special sponsors we had for this bug and what it brings to Koha.
Yeah, so this was sponsored by Clams and Neckles in Kansas. And what this brings to Koha is currently you can either have priority for your local items to fill local holds
Mhm.
or not. There's no like in between. But a lot of consortia have groups that maybe they're closer together and have more frequent courier service, things like
Yeah.
that. Or maybe you have a consortium that's really spread out, so you want to kind of give priority by where things are to help reduce costs and time for patrons to get those items.
Okay.
And, and so this adds two new options to the system preference.
Awesome.
Um, One gives library and then group. So it would first fill at your local library and then within your group. And one just gives library groups. So if you want to give the same priority for everybody in the group, but and not worry about library specific priority, that's also an option.
I
Awesome.
mean, this is one, as we have more consortiums using Koha, it's one of the things that they've really wanted is to be able to kind of have those local groups that fill each other's holds faster than the whole consortia and to kind of keep things in those little groups. So I think this is going to be really exciting for those libraries.
Definitely.
And for this to work, you have to turn on the preference and also set up library hold groups. Um, why don't I share my screen?
Oh, yeah.
So in the administration library groups, you would set up a group and mark as the feature local hold group. And that's what it's looking at to determine if it's part of that group for priority. Currently, it only works with one group. So if it's in multiple groups, it'll have like the same priority for all groups that it's part of. It
Okay.
doesn't like prioritize one group over another or anything like that, which is one of the questions that we've got since this development was finished. Um, so how it works, well, when you have it set to don't give, it's just going to fill in order of the holds here. And so even if you checked in an item at this one's at Centerville, if you checked in a Centerville item, it would always fill to Jordan first.
So
That's the
just
default.
following the priority order,
Yeah. And
Yeah.
essentially.
if you already have it set to either don't give priority or give library priority, that will be updated. The functionality won't change for you at the upgrade. But if we want to give library group priority, and then also pick up library and home library
Hmm.
are the options for the patron,
Hmm.
and items holding our home library. Um, and those, we have a link to the hold group there so that it's got a nice little note. So if a group's selected, you know you have to set up the group. And it'll follow the group for whichever one is selected there. So how this is set up is Jordan's group is part of, well, the first hold is for Jordan. Uh, and he is a Fairfield patron, which is part of the same group as Centerville.
Okay.
So when we check in the Centerville hold, I mean the Centerville item, it fills the hold for Jordan. Um, but I guess he's the first one, so that's what you would expect anyway.
Hmm.
So if we check in the Fairview hold, the Fairview item, so that fills for Nicole instead of Jordan. And that's because Nicole is the second hold and her Franklin home library is the same as the Fairview item that we just checked in. So that's how that works if you're set to just library.
Mhm.
If we were set instead to give library then group, it's going to try and fill our third hold here for Edna because she matches the library and the group, or the library first.
Oh,
And there we go.
Wow.
Awesome. That was fast.
And this works both on the holds queue and at check-in. It checks that. So it should tell you where you're sending it, if correctly, and if an item is returned, it will also correctly send it to the right priority.
That's exciting. I
Yeah.
know we've had a lot of libraries ask about this, so I think the libraries who want it are going to go in there and have their group set up and be ready to just turn this on.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is awesome. Well, thank you to both of our sponsors, both Clams and Neckles, for helping move this forward in the community.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look at
Hey,
that.
JZ, do you know what Clems and Neckles stand for?
I sure do. Clams is Cape Library's automated material sharings, and they're a group in Massachusetts. And then we have Neckles, who's a longtime Koha library, and that's the Northeast Kansas Library System. So thank you all so much.
Thank you both.
Okay,
Thank you.
thanks, Lisette, for joining us and showing all this off this week.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right, have a great week.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.